Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I know it's been some time since I've actually done a video, so I apologize for that. But life's just been crazy, and yeah. So today I am back with a very interesting subject that I would like to talk about, and not many of you might know this about me. So let's jump into today's video. So before I get into my experiences being an au pair, I want to explain what an au pair is. So pretty much it's basically just a nanny for kids. It depends on the family that you are placed with, what they want you to do, the different duties they have you do on a daily basis. But yeah, it's pretty much just being a nanny. So I learned about this experience through Facebook. I've been coaching, but I of course had the urge to play basketball and try to fulfill my dreams of playing overseas professional basketball. So I'm on Facebook and different groups for basketball, and I see a post that is looking for players who want to play in Germany. Of course, it's at a low level. But in exchange, they have to be an au pair and live with the host family. So pretty much I was not getting paid playing basketball. The level that I played at wasn't even at a professional level. So I was just eager to get overseas. So I pretty much replied to the message and everything worked out basketball wise. In addition, I had to interview with one of the families and see if they liked me. And pretty much after they interviewed me, they told me that they would love for me to be their au pair. And that's pretty much how it got started. So now we will get into the juicy stuff. So my experience being an au pair for a German family. To start off, I would say there were plenty of cultural differences. You know, coming from America, you don't really know what to expect. Moving to a different country, you hear different things, but just hearing and actually being in the middle of things is completely different. So the cultural differences were just huge. Like, funny story, I flew into Germany and my au pair family, they picked me up from the airport. And of course I had a 14-hour flight with the layover. So I get there at nighttime and I'm starving. And people who know me, they know when I don't eat, I get hangry. So I was hangry at that point, and I get to the house, they ask me if I'm hungry. Of course I say yes. And then they pull out some sandwich bread, some butter, and salami. And they asked if I wanted the bread toasted. I said yes. So they toast the bread, they spread some butter on it, and they put some salami on top. And it was literally like one slice of bread. So that was my dinner. And let's just say for the first couple of weeks, I was starving my butt off. Like literally, they don't eat. They eat very little meals. Us Americans, we are very fat, like 3 meals a day or more, very hearty meals. And here in Germany, it's like a spread for breakfast, bread, jelly, Nutella, sandwich meats, and lunch would be more of like their hot meal. So they'll eat something a little bit more hearty for lunch, but for dinner, it's something very light. So for example, they would have salads, they would have just really light things that won't fill you up. So that's one story that I have for you guys on the cultural differences. So my duties as an au pair. Pretty much, I took care of 2 kids. At the time, they were 11 and 7. The 11-year-old, she was more independent, can do things on her own, but I was literally attached to the 7-year-old. I had to pick her up from school every day. If she wanted to go to her friend's house, I had to take her to her friend's house, go back, pick her up, take her back home. She did sports, so I had to take her to her practices and her trainings, wait there for her, take her back home. I also had to clean the kitchen area every day. I had to do their laundry. I had to iron shirts for the father, who was a business person. I also had to cook, like sometimes 1 meal a day for the kids. Yeah, that's pretty much it. There was sometimes on the weekends where I had to babysit. If they wanted to go out with their friends or anything like that, I had to stay at home, babysit, put them to sleep. But yeah, that's pretty much all I had to do. So I have to keep it real with you guys. My au pair experience was a roller coaster ride. I'm not one to talk bad about people or anyone in general, but me being an au pair, my first time being out of the country, all the things that I had to do, it was very tolling on my mental health. I've never experienced more anxiety in my life. I never really even experienced anxiety until I moved here to Germany. I was just constantly worried that I was gonna do something wrong, just because sometimes the communication was not there. I wanted to do my best and always make everyone happy, and just do everything the way that it's supposed to be done. But there were plenty of times where there was just no communication. I just, if I had to choose to do it again, I would not. Only because of the environment that I was put into. Like I said, the cultural differences are huge, and communication was just always lacking. Like, they expected me to do things that I was supposed to know on my own and not communicate that to me. So there was some issues with that, and me dealing with depression and anxiety. This just really tipped me over. If it wasn't for me having someone to help me get through all this, then I wouldn't have even stayed there. It was very, very hard. But of course, I'm super thankful for the experience that I got to have in another country. I was an au pair, but I also got to hoop. So, of course, it was very hard to balance the two of them. And then, of course, Corona happened the same year that I became an au pair. So that was also something very hard to deal with. It caused me to stay here way longer than I should have, but God lets things happen for a reason. It's all in His plan. So I'm very thankful I had the experience, that it brought me out here. Now I'm in a totally different situation and I'm doing what I want to do. So throughout all the tough times, all the difficulties, You just have to kind of look back and just look at the experience and just thank God for it, because you learn, you grow, and those are two things that I've done a lot of since being here in Germany since August of 2019. I think the biggest thing that I learned from this experience is learning how to adapt to another culture, another environment, and everything that gets thrown at you in life. That's the biggest thing that I've learned. And also, it's elevated my relationship with God to a whole nother level. Once I moved out here, I found Pastor Michael Todd of Transformation Church, and that was a big reason of why I got through what I got through, because just hearing his whole crazy faith sermons, and it just elevated my faith 100 times. Is crazy. But yeah, this was my experience being an au pair in Germany. If anyone has any questions, just let me know in the comments. I can make another video that goes more into depth on everything, but I just wanted to keep it brief and keep it light, not get into any details about anything. But yeah, thanks for tuning in, and the next video will also be a very interesting one.